Hey, Shalom, brothers. This is Brother Howard of GMS Toronto, coming back with another one. Destroying democracy. The reason why I even had the mindset to even make this lesson is because we're in the midst of a time of great confusion, and the great confusion is actually planned. It's pre-planned, right? What we're living in is order ab chaos. Right? What is order ab chaos? Well, here's an illustration of it in a picture form, right? Which is the sun, the moon, right? Then you have the phoenix, right? And then the phoenix dies and then it rises again through the ashes, right? Just to become stronger, right? Or to become better. That's the mindset of the people that are in rulership today. Their mindset is that after the great confusion and the great chaos and the great tearing down, there's going to be a great building back up, which is what we saw in the midst of 9/11. 9/11 was a precursor or a preview of what they want to do globally, right? When the chaos happened with the snake bite, that was a precursor as well as what they want to happen globally, right? But this is just the beginning stages of transforming the world, right? And making it into a brighter place, or bringing it out of the darkness, right? That is the new world order, right? And it's a world order where it is going to be governed by a few, or that's what the elites want, right? They want a world where it's just them on top and everybody else on the bottom as servants. And let's get into the word. What is the meaning of the Masonic motto, order ab chaos? Of the many symbols and phrases of Masonry, a few mottos are important enough to be prominently and sometimes publicly displayed on flags, seals, or regalia. And it's so important that they put it on the money. So what is America? America is a Masonic country. Simple and plain, because it's on their money. It says the phrase order ab chaos is the motto of the 33rd degree, which can be found on the Grand Decoration of the Order of the Sovereign Grand Inspector General. So if this motto is of the 33rd degree, what does that mean? That means this knowledge that we have attained through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you can't bring it to a Mason who's on a low level, because they're not even on this level yet. You see how deep this goes, brothers? We are more intelligent than the majority of people in this world. Even you people that think that you are Masons and you're just low-level Masons. You're not even a Mason on a high level, right? We contend and we defeat high-level Masons. Straight up. It says, one of the highest honors and roles which can be bestowed upon a Mason, it is also featured on other seals and flags representing various orders. This phrase being depicted so prominently, particularly in relation to the 33rd degree, indicates a tremendous importance to Freemasonry. Indeed, order ab chaos, translated to order from chaos, is also associated with another Latin phrase, lux in tenebris, which translates to light from darkness. Why is the idea of order from chaos or light from darkness so significant to Masonry? Let's explore this question together. It says, one theory about the origin and significance of this phrase has mostly to do with Masonic history in the United States. In the early 1800s, there was some division and conflict between the northern and southern jurisdiction and Scottish Rite in the U.S. According to this theory, when the Rite being practiced in the north was found to be a fraud, and the conflict was resolved in the restoration of the original Rite, this was where the original use of the phrase emerged. Perhaps the most dismissive theory in the case, the order from chaos, was simply the order restored from chaos of the schism between jurisdictions, and all other meanings commonly attributed to it are purely speculative. While it's important not to rule out such an explanation simply because it's only historically interesting, it's hard to believe that the motto would be considered so significant it didn't have a deeper symbolic meaning. What are some other possible meanings? The first clue to the more profound meaning and significance of this phrase is the origin of it correlates lux in tenebris. The phrase comes to us from the Latin translation of the Gospel of John, in which it is said, the light shone in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. Right? But in Masonry, that's going into alchemy, because when you're dealing with alchemy, they believe in transformation from lead into gold, right? So from darkness into light, right? That's what a lot of these Masons, they believe in. They believe in transformation, in alchemy, right? When you see their god, right, or the statue of their god, the Baphomet, that's what that represents as well. That's that alchemy. That's that transformation into your highest self, right? Where they believe the feminine and the masculine coming together brings forth the greatest man, or the enlightened man, right? Or the gold man, or the Superman. What is meant when we say to bring light from darkness or order from chaos? Much as the operative Masons of old took the rough stone of the natural world and hewed and smoothed it in such a way as to be fit for the construction of elaborate and pristine structures such as cathedrals, so the speculative Mason of today apply the same discipline and even the metaphor of the builder's tool to draw forth order from the chaos of their own lives and minds, right? Which we go through as well as brothers in this truth, right? Because we went through a brainwashing to where we are making ourselves better. And this is a daily job of making ourselves better, right? But these Masons also believe that as well. Now, let's go into them destroying democracy, right? Well, what is democracy, right? The word comes from the Greek word, it's demos, meaning people. Demos means people. And kratos, which kratos spelled Kratos, meaning power. So basically, democracy can be thought of as power of the people, a way of governing which depends on the will of the people, which is why people vote, right? Now, yes, people used to have power in a democracy, but that democracy was stolen a long time ago from this society. Okay? So how do you destroy that? How do you destroy a democracy? First, you do it economically, right? When you go back to the 60s, right? Even the 70s, American jobs, they left the West and went to places like China and India and Brazil, right? What did they call that? There was a name for it, man. Outsourcing. I think they called it outsourcing. I think that was the name. Forgive me if I'm getting the name wrong. Okay? But then you destroy the mindset. And the mindset of this society is a mindset of freedom. That's where you get that order through chaos. And and the order through chaos has been fulfilled through all their agendas. And when I say them, I refer to the elites, the people who are on top, who rule this world, mainly the bankers, these banking families, right? The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Gettys, right? Agendas like civil rights, the civil rights movements. The civil rights movement was a order through chaos, right? That's what it was. That's where they created the animosity from black and white people. And we still have that fight today, that divide and conquer, right? How did they divide and conquer us? They divided and conquer us through order ab chaos, right? There was another agenda, feminism. How did they divide us in feminism? Well, they divided man and woman, which was very intelligent, very, very intelligent. And they empowered the woman above the man. That's chaos right there. Because anybody knows, if you understand women and the nature of women, you can never empower a woman above a man. Women need to be regulated and looked after, right? Because women are chaotic just within themselves. The other demographic who they empowered were gays, right? The gay rights movements, right? The other empowerment came to transgenders, right? Now we're in the time of pedophilia, right? So what did they do? They distracted you while they stole your actual freedom. What is your actual freedom? That is your money or your resources, your land, your water, your minerals, cheap labor. Because now you will prostitute yourself for these jobs that are paying minimum wage. Minimum wage shouldn't even be a thing. You should be getting a percentage of profits, because you're literally getting your boss rich. You're not getting rich. He's getting rich off of you. He's getting rich off of your blood, your sweat, your tears, your time. These are your most important things. These are your most important things. And you're prostituting yourself out for that, which is cheap labor. Your organs, right? When you're poor, you'll sell your organs, right? You'll sell your children, right? And generations were destroyed economically, like Iraq, or like in the 1980s in America with the crack epidemic. Even the island where my family is from now, Jamaica, they were destroyed through the IMF, through the borrowing of money. And then they destroyed that island, man, by bringing in cheap labor from places like China, and so on and so forth, right? And now you are destroyed spiritually with religion, which is why this truth that we bring out, and when I say we, I mean the brothers on the highways and the byways, starting with the elder apostles on down, the truth that we bring out seems so foreign to you, like simple order, like a boy can't be a girl, and a man is the head of the household. These are the things that are are confusion to people nowadays. These are the things that people are debating about nowadays. And what you don't understand is that America, or the West, is a whore that served her purpose. And the elites, their orgasm or their wet dream of the one world order through governments can't work with democracy. It can work through communism, which is why they're putting places like China on a pedestal now, right? Where most property and economic resources are owned and controlled by the state rather than individual citizens. You see why democracy has to be destroyed? You see why we're living in the time that we're living in? You see why we're arguing over women rights and this rights and gay rights, and this is all a distraction, man. All of it is just a distraction. This is Revelation 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. Why? Because all these nations, they bought into that dream. They bought into the democracy. They bought into the destruction of this great whore. And you know what they're finding out? They're finding out that it's destroying them. It's what's going to lead to their destruction. So that's what's going to upset them. That's going to make them end up destroying the whore. This is Revelation 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, and they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto the servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear the name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. So we're living in the time where all these nations, they're going to be judged, man. They're going to be judged, and guess what? Hey, that's their fault. They chose the wrong side. They chose to follow the whore. They chose to follow America and America's ways and America's demonic ways. And America's demonic ways, like democracy, is what's going to bring you to destruction, right? And it's too late now. Now that you guys are trying to switch over your new form of control to communism, hey, well, guess what? It's too late, man. This is your last hurrah. This is your last hurrah. You're going to try, and you are going to do it. You're not just going to try. You're going to see hip the majority of the world, but that's going to lead to your destruction as well, because the Most High is waiting for you to make that move, man. To make that this life that we're living in is a great chess game, right? And the Most High is waiting for you to make that move so he can spank you, man. You Edomites, you're going to be spanked, bro. You're going to be spanked. You're just men. You're not gods. You're nobodies, man. You're a bunch of nobodies, man. The Most High gave you a time to rule, and your time of ruling is over, man. This is your last hurrah. So hurry up and get it done, man. This is back in Revelation 17. This is verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. And that's why we're out here, right? Why are we on the highways and the byways? We're on the highways and the byways to speak about the judgment of the great whore, pertaining to what scripture? Jeremiah 28, right? The prophets that have been and been before me of old prophesied against, right? So what are we doing? We're prophesying against you great whore. Who is the great whore? The great whore is America, right? Who's a representation of you Caucasian, you Edomites. This is an Edomite rulership. This is an Edomite society. This is an Edomite kingdom, and it's going to be brought down. Verse 2, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Hey, so when you people are destroyed, hey, that's on you, man. Right? The wine of her fornication is her democracy. She has tricked the world with democracy. That's a Luciferian ideology. And she's tricked you people with it, with this freedom, right? To where you people have destroyed yourself, and you've destroyed yourself through everything that I just said, right? Starting with the civil rights movement, then go into the feminist movement, which is all these things are just agendas. And they were to destroy the home, and they were to destroy people. Right? Then you had the what? Then you had the gay rights movement. Then you had the transgenders. And now we're living in the time of what? Of the pedophiles asking for their rights. Right? But this is the door. This is the demonic door that you people open through what? Through democracy. Through democracy. Okay? It says, verse 3, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness and saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast full of the names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color. Why? Because the whore is on top. She's in rule. She's in rule. Everyone looks to America. She's the beacon, right? That's why you have that great whore, Hecate, who you people call the Statue of Liberty, right? And when you look up Hecate, she's the mother of witchcraft. That's the mother of witchcraft, Hecate, right? Over there in New York, which you guys call the Statue of Liberty with that light in her hand. What does that light represent? That light represents Luciferianism. That light represents alchemy. That light represents sex magic. What is the height of sex magic? Pedophilia. Okay? That light represents transgenderism. That light represents women empowerment. That's what that light represents. Because through women empowerment, you have goddess worship. So you start to worship the woman. Understood? And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of what? Abominations. So what was feminism? Feminism was abominations. What was the gay rights movement? Abominations. What was the civil rights movement? Abomination. And the transgender and all the rest of the movements? Abominations. Right? Having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness. So what was all those movements that I just mentioned? Filthiness. They were all filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the great mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Right? So when people are seeing the destruction of this society through the implementation of Order Abkea, well, now you understand. Right? And with that, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Makakwadash. Double honors unto the elders and elder apostles of GMS that rule well and that teach well. And to the brothers on the 4 corners of the earth doing this work in truth and in sincerity. Hey, shalom. Till next time. Kwame